Hey, good morning. Terry Fossum here, of course, speaker, author, and Scoutmaster for Troop 400 in the Spokane Valley, Washington. Say, this month's blog is going to be just kind of a reminder and perhaps a warning for all of us how critical it is that we keep a really close eye on our boys and girls under our care. And some of it's just going to be a reminder because you do it already, and thank God you do. Okay, so our troop just got back from their 50-miler. Floating down, canoeing, kayaking down the Flathead River in Montana. Amazing time, fantastic time. And it almost wasn't. Now, I go at the back of the pack. I'm always at the back of the pack so I can be watching everybody and seeing what's going on. And we had stopped at this one place to take a break on this little island. And right beside the island was this chute of water going by. It was fantastic. The boys were all, during the break with their life jackets on, they were gliding down that chute, jumping in and enjoying going down that chute, then getting back on the island, and then walking back up and taking the chute again. They're having a fantastic time. Of course, we had all of our people watching and everything you're supposed to do. Then we got back in our canoes and we're starting to head back down the river, and I'm in the back in a kayak at this point, and I see one of the canoes coming back at me. It's a couple of the boys. So I ask them, what's going on? And they, I forgot my shirt there. Okay, so of course I spin around to follow them because we don't let any boat go on its own. Very critical. You can't just wait for them to come back. You got to be there with them. You never know what's going to happen. And sure enough, man, I watch them going up towards that chute to try to get back to the island, but the current's too strong. So they're trying, they're not making it. So they end up going off to the left. On the other side of this chute of water is where they put in. They got out, and I'm watching this boy from a distance here as I'm kayaking like a maniac, getting upstream, and I see him take his life jacket off. No, he knows better. We've talked about this. And then he jumps into the water by himself. He knows better. We've talked about this, right? We talked about all the safety swim, safety afloat stuff you don't do. And there he is doing it. Of course, it's almost like he's a teenager, right? So I watch him, man, and I'm battling to go up the water to get to him. And he jumps into that chute, and he thinks he's going to swim across. Man, this is just like the bad stories we hear, isn't it? I'm watching it unfold. And so he's trying to make it across. Of course, he can't. And that chute brings him downstream. He doesn't make the island, so now the current takes him right out in the middle of open water. All those currents going on and everything. We could have an amazingly bad situation going on here, except as a Scoutmaster, just like you would do too, I'm watching, I'm following, and I'm there. So when he makes it into that open water there, it wasn't very long at all before I'm pulling up and saying, grab onto my kayak, do not pull me over. And then getting him towards land till that canoe can get out to us so we can get him into the canoe and back into safety. Well, safety from the water. Then he had to deal with a really unhappy Scoutmaster from there. But so that's the blog for today. It's just a reminder that we've got to be ever watchful when all of this stuff's going on. It's awesome that we get them into the outdoor adventures. That's fantastic for them. But our job, again, as the adults, is to be ever mindful that in a split second, things can go wrong, and we have to be prepared. That's it for today. Again, this is Terry Fossum, wishing you the greatest of days and the greatest of scouting.